here at Kids Connection this month as we find out more about peace.
Peace is proving you care more about each other than winning an argument.
When you make peace, it's like you're building a bridge across to the other person. You can reconnect with them and show them that you care, even if you don't always agree.
That reminds me. Now, Smalls, I didn't want to drop a massive challenge on you this week, but
what?
you didn't think that we'd have this whole month and thing about building bridges and then never actually build a bridge, did you?
So we're gonna do a bridge building competition next week?
I'll fill you in on the details while the kids dance so you can start thinking about it. All right, we'll see you guys after the theme song.
You're my courage, I don't have to be afraid. You're my fortress, no matter what comes my way. You're my treasure forever, yes, we'll be together always. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh. You are with me every single day. Through the darkness, oh, you lead the way. You're my treasure forever, yes, we'll be together always. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh.
Every time I fall, you pick me up. You fight for me, you overcome. You bring me peace, you give me love. For you I sing, to you I run. I praise your name for all you've done. You are my strength, you are my savior.
Ooh. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior.
In the Bible, we can read all about God's story. We can read the stories of many of the men and women who followed God and played a part in his plan.
Who are we talking about here? Adam, David, Moses?
Nope.
Deborah, Ruth?
Nope.
I can keep going. Abraham?
No, it's none of those, but you were close with Abraham, because we're actually going to look at Abraham's son, Isaac. Just like God had said to Abraham, God told Isaac that he would be the father of a great nation.
Man, God's blessing must run in the genes of that family.
God did bless both Abraham and Isaac, but the neighboring Philistines also noticed Isaac's success and became really jealous. So the Philistines decided to fill the wells where the Hebrews got their water from with dirt.
There's a Philistine-Phila-cistern joke in there somewhere.
Well, all joking aside, that was really rude of the Philistines. The leader of the Philistines sent a message to Isaac. He told Isaac to go away. He was becoming too successful and it just wasn't fair.
Actually?
Yeah.
But he's one dude, and they're the whole country.
Yep.
It's not his fault that they're not successful. Now that's unfair.
And you know what? Isaac could have fought the king. After all, it wasn't fair. And Isaac had plenty of men who would stand up against the Philistines and fight.
Who's going to throw down first?
No one. Isaac and his family packed up everything they owned and moved down to the valley of Gerar, where Abraham had lived many years before.
Well, that's good, I guess.
When they got there, they dug up all of Abraham's old wells, and the water was cool and clean, and the flocks and crops began to grow once more. But
Uh-oh.
a Philistine herdsman nearby came and told Isaac he had no right to use those because they were his now. He couldn't just come back home after all this time and just take whatever he wanted.
But they were Abraham's wells. They didn't belong to him.
Yep. But once again, Isaac and his family just packed up and moved on. Where his servants dug another well.
Did they at least get to keep this one?
They did. After that, no one came by to bother them, and they lived in peace, and their flocks and crops boomed once again. Until the king of Philistines showed up on the horizon heading straight for Isaac.
You're kidding. What does he want now?
Okay, slow down there. The king came to Isaac and said, "We have seen how the Lord has taken care of you, and we would like to make a peace agreement with you. If you don't hurt us, we won't hurt you either."
Wow. Real nice considering Isaac wasn't bothering anyone.
Isaac immediately ordered for there to be a feast for the king and that they would have a peace agreement.
I did not see that one coming.
Even though Isaac had the power to win a fight, he chose to stay strong and walk away. 3 times in a row.
I feel like you're building up to our bottom line for this week.
And you are right as always. Our bottom line for today is you can show you care about others by walking away from a fight.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 26.
God had chosen Abraham to follow him, and God made the same promises to Abraham's son, Isaac.
I will make your children after you, as many as the stars in the sky, and I will give them all these lands. All nations on earth will be blessed because of your children.
Thank you, God.
The land of the Philistines where Isaac lived had experienced a period of famine, but God blessed Isaac's crops.
Hey, boss, we done gathered 100 times more wheat than we planted.
Excellent.
103.7 times as much to be precise.
And your flocks and herds are multiplying like rabbits.
Actually, they're increasing like sheep and goats, because that's what they are.
Very well, carry on.
Unfortunately, the Philistines who lived nearby grew jealous of Isaac's success. They shoveled dirt into his wells, cutting off his water source.
Excuse me?
The king of the Philistines called for Isaac and issued a command.
You have become too powerful. Move away from us.
It wasn't fair. Isaac had plenty of men who could stand against the Philistines and fight, but he chose to keep his cool.
All right, we'll move down to the Valley of Gerar.
Isaac and his family packed up everything he owned.
I knew I should have been saving all those Camel X delivery boxes.
They moved on and made camp in the Valley of Gerar, where Abraham had lived many years before.
All right, men. Let's open up those old wells my father dug.
Isaac's servants immediately got to work digging for water.
Ooh-wee! It's hotter than a snake in a hog's back out here.
My calculations of soil composition. We should hit water in precisely 2.6 seconds.
Well, ain't that the bee's knees?
Abraham's old wells filled with cool, clear water once again. The happy herds and flocks could drink their fill. That is, until the nearby Philistine herdsmen showed up.
So kind of you to open up these wells for us.
Step aside, the water's ours.
Isaac's servants gaped at the Philistines.
You got some nerve.
These wells belong to Isaac by ancestral tradition and dint of hard labor.
Whatever.
We're taking the well.
Oh yeah? We're gonna have to fight me for it.
I believe the appropriate course of action is to flee.
As Isaac's servants and the Philistine herdsmen faced off, Isaac himself arrived.
Easy does it, fellas. There's plenty of land in this valley for everyone. We'll move along.
But we can take them.
Let's go.
So Isaac and his family and his servants and his flocks all moved camp down the valley, and once again his servants set out to dig new wells.
This is an exercise in futility.
Yeah, well, I've been working out. My futility is really strong. Look here.
The new wells also produced clean, clear, cool water, but it wasn't long before Philistine herdsmen arrived on the scene.
Yes! Another day, another well for us.
Why, I'll flatten you back to the flood.
Step aside.
Eek, save me.
Once again, Isaac showed up.
Take it down a notch, please. There's still room for everyone.
Oh, come on. We could knock them flat.
Yes, we could, but we're not going to. Move on out, boys.
For a third time, Isaac and his men moved camp, and once again his servants dug new wells.
This time, I'm gonna tie those bullies in knots and dip them in garlic.
Oh, look, water. Yay.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
This time, no one challenged Isaac or his servants. They were left to tend to their flocks and herds in peace. That is until one day, Isaac spotted King Abimelech heading his way with a host of advisors. When the royal entourage arrived, Isaac welcomed them.
Why have you come to me? You were angry with me and sent me away.
Abimelech shifted and exchanged a glance with his advisors.
Well, we saw clearly the Lord was with you, so we want to make a peace treaty with you. We always treated you well. We sent you away peacefully, and now the Lord has blessed you. Give us your word you won't harm us.
I can do that.
Isaac prepared a feast for the Philistines. Early the next morning, the men made an agreement to keep peace with each other. Then, the Philistines went on their way.
Need a drink? Pretty good well right there by the road.
Yep, even though Isaac had the power to win a fight, he had chosen to stay strong and walk away 3 times in a row. And God had blessed him with peace.
is greater than, no one is bigger than, no one is stronger than. Hey! No one is greater than, no one is bigger than, no one is stronger than. Come on! No one is greater than, no one is bigger than, no one is stronger than. No one is greater than, no one is bigger than, no one is stronger than Jesus. Hey, hey, greater is, hey. Hey, hey, greater is, hey, that is in me. Hey, hey, greater is, hey. Hey, hey, greater is, hey, that is in me. Greater is, hey. Greater is, hey.
Isaac really knew what it meant to make peace. The Philistines kept arguing with him, but he didn't fight back. He was willing to walk away so he could keep the peace.
If you ever wonder what it looks like to be a peacemaker, just look at Jesus. Jesus allowed himself to be arrested, made fun of, beat up, he even died, even though he could have stopped it. But he did it to make peace with us, once and for all. And most of all, because he loves us.
Remember, you can show you care about others by walking away from a fight.
However, it is also important to know that there are times when you should stand up for yourself. There are some cases when you do need to stand up for what is right. But you can always talk to an adult if you're not sure what to do. They can help you figure out the best way to make peace in whatever the situation you're facing.
And remember to always show love and kindness and try your best to live in peace with others. That's how you can treat others the way that you would want to be treated.
All right, that's it for Kids Connection. Be sure to tune back in next week to see how our bridge building challenge turns out. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. See you then.